Hello, this is Max Unlimited back for another video. And Alexa, set time for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Hoorah! Oh, I need to turn off my TV. Oh, pause it at least. Kuomintang held on. In a stunning counteroffensive, the Nationalists managed to beat back the People's Liberation Army, making it most secured from communist rebels. Now the Republic must rebuild. To keep it away from perhaps some investments are in order. Glory be. Close you, close you, close you, close you. Keep you open, but not the decision. Dimirik appears before Hoi4, naming communists. Director Edward Dimirik appears before the House Un-American Activities Committee to provide testimony on the communists in Hollywood. The director has previously refused to testify and has been arrested for 1 year as a result. He now claims communists used him for propaganda purposes. Now he will gladly testify during the electric testimony. Dimirik admitted for briefly joined the Communist Party in 1945 and went and list 21, including 7 directors. Communists, including 7 directors. Dimirik revealed the discovery of a communist spy cell in the federal government and international communist aggression were also major factors in his decision to testify. More fuel to the fire. Indeed. Can't do any review, but I can. Nah. Now I'll start doing the Truman administration. President Truman's first administration will focus on improving internal security and stability. As well as continuing some of the late President Roosevelt's programs and policies. Hoorah. Get that and get S start operations. Get you. Time passes. And yeah, that's probably important, so wait, I haven't read that. The Fair Labor Standards Amendment will modify the Act in 1938 to increase the minimum wage, extending child labor protection laws. Seal. The Declaration of the Republic of India. India achieved independence from the British Raj on the 15th of April 1947, and the independence came through the Indian Independence Act of 1947, even though it's 1949. The Act of Parliament in the UK that partitioned British India into 2 independent dominions from the British Commonwealth. India attained independence on the 15th of August 1947, even though it's 49 and the December of it, as a constitutional monarchy under George V. Oh, it's declaring a republic. It was originally a dominion, now it's a republic under George VI, head of state, and the Earl of Mountbatten as the Governor General. On the 29th of August 1947, a drafting committee was appointed to draft a permanent constitution with B.R. Abdekar as chairman. The draft constitution was prepared by the committee and submitted to the Constituent Assembly. The assembly met in session open to public for 166 days, spread over periods of 2 years, before adopting the Constitution after many deliberate and some modifications. The Assembly now signed 2 handwritten copies of the document. Congratulations. We had this last time. They just changed their currency. Yeah. Alright. The Central Intelligence Agency Act. The C.I.A. Act will initially make the C.I.A. as an almost independent government branch, allowing it to keep its records and secret agents, as well as giving it near unlimited funds. Exciting? Yes. Unconstitutional? Maybe. There you go, pass. Had this last time. I think this one's new. The enemy from within. Wisconsin Republican Joseph R. McCarthy won the election to the Senate in 1946 during the campaign marked by anti-communist rage-baiting, partially in response to Republican Party victories. President Harry S. Truman tried to demonstrate his own concerns about the federal Congress by setting up a loyalty program for federal employees, who also asked for the Justice Department to compile an official list of 78 subversive organizations as the midterm election year got underway. Former State Department official Alger Hiss, suspected for espionage, was convicted for perjury. In a speech at Wheeling, West Virginia, McCarthy mounted an attack on Truman's foreign policy agenda, stating that the State Department and its Secretary Dean Acheson harbored traitorous communists. Advice copies of the speech distributed to the press reporters. A number of communists McCarthy claimed to have known as 205, later revised, but both in letter to President Truman and the official transcript. The speech McCarthy submitted to congressional records 10 days later. He used the number 57. We have gained McCarthyism. What the hell is that? Here it is. It doesn't have a symbol. Get efficient air freights. The establishment of the Korean Workers' Party. The Korean Workers' Party was officially announced following the merger of the Workers' Party of North Korea and the Workers' Party of South Korea. This latest act continues the consolidation of Communist leadership around Kim Il-sung. This comes as recent party congresses declare North Korea a bastion of democracy and approve a constitution establishing the independent United Korea, with Seoul as the capital. With a one-party, it appears North Korea is finalizing its efforts to lay the groundwork for a unification of the Korean Peninsula under communist rule, an Asian people's democracy. The execution of Koksi Suksa. In a secret trial later today, the traitor Koksi Suksa admitted to working for British intelligence, conspiring with his brother Tito, leader of the backsliding Federal People's Republic of Yugoslavia. His purging has been resulted of his pro-Yugoslav activities, and his punishment for betraying Evne Hoxha new state will be to be hanged by the neck until death. Barbaric. So, Hoxism is going to still be around. I mean, yeah, it will be. It's start with focus. True. Senator McCarthy gives Lincoln Day speech. Yeah. Give me a moment. Your phone turned off. Senator McCarthy gives a Lincoln Day speech. Oh. Thank you. Mom just wanted me to get my signature. Senator McCarthy gives Lincoln Day speech. An explosive speech given in West Virginia today during the Lincoln Day, Senator Joseph McCarthy waved a piece of paper on which he claimed the list of 205 department workers had been communists. Now this is different. Was a list of 205 department workers suspected of being communist. He noted that despite being identified communist sympathizers, they remain in their position and are shaping American foreign policy. He called for the federal government to stiffen its resolve and remove all communist sympathizers from federal agencies. His speech has resulted in a lot of public attention, and McCarthy is now being seen among the leading anti-communist crusaders in the Senate. Well, this won't end well. And the CIA has, stuff to it. Haven't started. I personally don't like decolonization because we have seen how it doesn't go well. And I also want to keep around. I like having Britain as an empire still. It's just a personal thing. So I'm going to keep that on the decolonization debate. But first, the Middle East. Operations related to the Middle East. The White Terror. The Republic of China's government recently launched a campaign to stamp out dissent and threats to the state. The police and other state agencies have already opened investigations to politicians, writers, activists, and intellectuals accused of either sympathies, advising or openly supporting the enemies of the state. In particular, the focus appears on communist sympathizers and criminal elements. Many human rights activists are expressing concern. The new crackdown on dissent marks a white terror and will be used to crush any threat to the ruling party, expense to the individual or political rights. Barbaric. So Wang Ming is now the ruler of the People's Republic of Northern China. The Republic of China is the Republic of Southern China. Cool flag too. Anyway. The legacy of the Armistice Agreement. Tensions between the Arab and Israelis slowly reaching a breaking point. We need to tread carefully. I'll send some troops to help the Republic of Vietnam. We will destroy the 7 communists.
Roger that, Red 5. Hold in position. Stand by for further reports. Charlie 902 out.
The legislation passed. Ukraine passed the proposed legislation in both congressional bodies. Good news. The People's Government, basically People's Republic of Northern China. Today, members of the Communist Party of China, CPC, have announced the funding of the People's Republic of China, People's Government of Northern China. After a crushing defeat in the Battle of Shanghai, the Communists were pushed back to Manchuria, where only the last minute Soviet intervention saved them from total destruction. The People's Government of Northern China has declared its firm allegiance to the Marxist-Leninist orthodoxy and a shield to the vulnerable underbelly of the Far East. Much like Germany and Korea, Vietnam and Austria, it appears China will be divided through ideological lines. Interesting. The Israeli-Arab situation. The situation in the Middle East is precarious, although the recent Arab-Israeli war has ended with an armistice and both sides appear to be gearing up for a second round. The Arab world possesses valuable resources, especially oil. The Israelis have established a democratic state and strong affinity towards the West and have sympathies of the American people. The administration must decide how it will proceed. One group advocates for stronger pro-Israeli policy, including arms deals that will be well received by the public and pro-Israeli interests, and the Israelis could go to help secure our interests in the region. However, doing this will risk Arab ire and access to oil. The other group believes we must maintain neutrality in order to maintain good ties with the Arab states. On this position, we would broker further agreements and long-term benefits of both Israelis and Arabs. Alright. The Tripartite Agreement of 1950 is a joint agreement between the United States, Kingdom, and France to guarantee the territory and status quo that has been declared in the 1949 Arab-Israeli Armistice Agreement. The declaration outlines the parties' commitment to peace and stability in the Middle East, and the opposition to the use of force. Finally, peace in the Middle East, and it was simple as that. So, the coup failed. The failed coup in Afghanistan. Ismail Bakhit, poet and well-known political leader in Afghanistan, has been arrested by 5 other men who attempted to coup the government of King Mohammed Zahir Shah, as well as assassinating the Prime Minister. The government of Afghanistan has successfully intercepted a commission for it and cracked down before it could take place. All members have been arrested and charged with conspiring to overthrow the government, the monarchy, and the Salvation Republic. They were planning on executing it during Nowruz celebrations to try and take the government by surprise during the festivities. Interesting. The Landau F disaster. Tragedy struck the airfield of Landau Aerodrome as an air of Tudor number 5. We've named it Stargirl. I think we've read this one before. Yeah, we've read this one before. I'm not going to go over it again. So sorry if you wanted me to. You don't want any volunteers. That's done with. The Tripartite Declaration. The United States, Britain, and France have signed the Tripartite Declaration. The three states pledge to maintain territorial status quo as they established by the recent Arab-Israeli War Armistice Agreement. The agreement confirms the commitment of these states to peace and stability in the Middle East and prevent any side from destabilizing the precarious peace. The government is being welcomed by Arab states desperately rebuilding their military capacity. The Israel said they are to be upset as they believe their military advantage will soon be lost as the free states will agree to limit arms sales to the region. Hopefully this will calm the tensions in the region. The establishment of MISEED. The government of Qatar established MISEED today. The settlement was set up next to the main oil facilities and is meant to be an industrial centre of the rapid and growing oil industry in the country. It will be the main tanker terminal for the Qatar and will be administered by the petroleum company. The government hopes this new industrial city will help growth in the country as it also locates near the working class neighborhoods of the country. The close proximity will aid job creations and career development in this for citizens of Qatar. Interesting. Could do that. That could be a good thing. Can't do anything in the C.I.A. where I can. I have completed focus that gives the act. Operations related to the C.I.A. Get the Central Intelligence Agency Act. Ironically, we get the thing before we can. The Syria desk. Top secret operations related to Syria. They seem good. The next guy doesn't look as good. You're only going to be in power. You don't know even when you're going to be in power. So, Operation Struggle. Top secret. Recently, the CIA held talks with the former Syrian minister Michel Ilyan over a prospect of an anti-communist coup in the country by the military. He said the military units can seize control of Damascus, Aleppo, Homs and Hama, along with all major international border crossings once radio stations announced the new government under Colonel Kabani, the leading anti-communist civilian politicians will be called to serve the new government. Pilots would need cash from the CIA to pay off relevant officers to ensure success. The CIA support the plan, calling it Operation Struggle. They believe an anti-communist area will show up with anti-Soviet resistance in the region. Diplomatic affairs are not supportive, believing the operation may inflame tensions and cause instability in Damascus, which the communists could then exploit. Noted. Okay, so if this fails, I'm going to make a save here. We have 5 minutes remaining. So I say worry risk. If that fails miserably, I'll go down here and then I'll put another save. If they succeed, that's alright. If they fail, which is equally possible, we'll just go down this way. Despite concerns, we'll go have our operation. Please succeed. I mean, every time this has failed miserably, but I hope this time, yeah. The CIA agents in Damascus have worked furiously to ensure the relevant cash drops into made Operation Straggle. Over $100,000 has been spread in support of Straggle. The State Department is prepared to release a statement of divine maneuvers to protect and support the new regime following the coup. However, tensions in the region with Israeli forces in Syria orchestrating Hail Bay Ilian preparing to plan for 5 days. The CIA is urgently not to delay further, as the moment may be lost. Watchers waiting nervously for the plan to occur. Guys, cast. It fails miserably. Okay. Syrian government announced planned as for a coup sponsored by the United States. Syrian intelligence seems pictured the arrested conspirators and shown the assembly media piles of cash provided by the CSA. The Syrian claims it was Payot who turned the conspirators in and hatred halted the American attempt to rob the Syrian people of their independence. The United States denied involvement in any plot of the coup, apparently envisioned the Syrian military overthrowing the government and having a new regime under Colonel Kobani, who was among the detained. Okay, so load back 10 days before, which flies over Cairo, Damascus, and back. You want someone? Okay, knowing that this is going to fail miserably, I am going to abandon the coup. Our recommendations made by John Foster Dulles, Alan Dulles, and Mikhail Bay Lilian Operation Struggle will be abandoned as unfeasible because we have tested it and it has been proven not to work. Unless it's like 50-50 chance. I'm not going to try. Operation Weapon. Kermit Roosevelt has organized another coup in Syria. Maybe this one will have a higher chance of success. The CIA indicates contacts with senior Syrian right-wing generals under the leadership of General Abdel Shishakali. He has a long history of being friendly with the West and promises a return of such policies along with the crackdown of Syrian communists. Our Syrian friends believe a coup could be done with the price. I think I see him. Oh yeah, he's actually in here. So I think this is the historical rope. Will work with General Shishakali has national recognition. Plan as General Shishakali has national recognition and experience at the highest level. Proposed operation will be operated weapon. So make a save. Alexa, stop. Okay, once this is done and we get the choice, I'll save it. No price too high. How much is your loyalty worth, General? that. Please work, please work. How about the legislation from pride? Thank God. The CIA is represented in the final plan of Operation Wakon. The Syrian general has asked for as much cash as been originally agreed on. And the White House is concerned over throwing so much cash in Damascus may expose the plan and hints that this may just be an attempt to extort us. Of more concern is that this Syrian sting operation may meant to expose our involvement and the damage of our reputation in the region. The CIA is strongly encouraging our demands to be met, but the Secretary of State believes that they are suffering from tunnel vision and desperate to engineer a regime change. We must decide exorbitant demands or offer the original amount or cut losses and not risk exposure. Raise it to 10 million. They reject the bribe. So we got ripped off. Alright. If I keep it at the same amount, will this actually... Alright. Yeah. Low bullet, 3 million. It was rejected anyway. So it was a screw off either way. So with that, I call this video due, since, well, I'd focus on where the hell do I... Oh, this is a death trap, and I'm making, I guess, the Vietnam desk. So we'll deal with that. You don't want to help yourself. Yes, sir. Ready for action. With that, I call this video due, so hope to see you next time. Hope to see you then. This is my signing out. Goodbye.